episode of We Love to Talk About exciting subjects in science, medicine, robotics, astronomy, futuristic ideas, music, or anything interesting in the news. So let's get into it. Did you know in the news? A CSIC scientist discovers that waxworms eat plastic. The insect is able to quickly biodegrade polyethylene, the plastic used for shopping bags and food packaging. A researcher at the Spanish National Research Council, Frederica Bertolcini, has discovered that waxworms, Galleria melanella, which usually feed on honey and wax from the honeycombs of bees, are capable of degrading plastic. This worm is capable of biodegrading polyethylene, one of the toughest plastic materials that exists, and which is used to make shopping bags and food packaging, amongst other things. The discovery has been patented by the research scientists. The CSIC scientists worked on the research with Pablo Bombelli and Chris Howell from the University of Cambridge. The paper will be published in the next issue of Current Biology. All right, this article states that around 80 million tons of polyethylene, a material which is extremely tough and difficult to degrade, are produced around the world. For example, low-density polyethylene plastic bags take around 100 years to decompose completely, with the toughest, most resistant ones taking up to 400 years to break down. Every year, the average person uses more than 230 plastic bags, generating more than 100 tons of this type of plastic waste. Currently, the long process of chemical degradation, which requires the use of corrosion liquids such as nitric acid, can take up to several months. This is the first time that a scientific research team has found a natural solution which has proven itself capable of degrading this material. Now, plastic is a global problem. Nowadays, waste can be found everywhere, including the rivers, the oceans. Polyethylene in particular is very resistant and as such is very difficult to degrade naturally, states the CSIC researcher who works with the Institute of Biomedicine and Biotechnology of Cantabria. I guess it's on Spain's northern coast. It states, "We carried out many experiments to test the efficacy of these worms in biodegrading polyethylene. 100 waxworms are capable of biodegrading 92 milligrams of polyethylene in 12 hours, which is really fast." The article also says that the composition of beeswax is similar to that of polyethylene. According to researchers, this may be the reason why the worm has developed a mechanism to dispose of this type of plastic. They stated they still don't know the details of how the biodegradation occurs, but there is possibilities that the enzymes is responsible. The next step is to detect, isolate, and produce this enzyme in a vitro on an industrial scale. And this way we can begin to successfully eliminate this highly resistant material. A chance discovered. Now this scientist the scientist who is also an amateur beekeeper discovered this attribute of waxworms quite by chance. One day she discovered that the honeycomb panels stored in her house was covered with worms which were feeding on the leftover honey and wax from her bees. She stated I removed the worms and I put them in a plastic bag while I cleaned the panels. After finishing, I went back to the room where I left the worms and I found that they were everywhere. They had escaped from the bag even though it had been closed, and when I checked, I saw the bag was full of holes. There was only one explanation. The worms had made the holes and had escaped. This project began there and then. The waxworm larvae have a life expectancy of between 6 to 7 weeks and an optimal temperature for growth of 28 to 34 degrees Celsius. The larvae produce silk and make a cocoon in which they will go through their last metamorphosis, their conversion into moths. So let me know, everybody. Let me know what you think about this. Do you think this is something that is great? Of course you do. What are your comments and concerns? Or let me know your opinion on it. If you like this type of content, hit the like and the subscribe button. You all stay safe, and I will see you soon.